Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. It's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
Couple 13, 14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to B. Hour number 1 in the books. It was a fast-paced we just got that. It was all right. One of them special. Some days are diamonds. Some days are not. Time now, though, for 5, 3, 4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Brought to you by Willow River Company. Question number 1. And now it's time to go. In the paint.
The Miami Heat posted a link to a scheduled live stream titled LeBron James Introductory Press Conference, followed by the date July 27th to its YouTube channel, and what a team spokesperson said was a mistake. The spokesperson told ESPN's Shams Charania on Tuesday that the club's social media department was preparing for the possibility of James signing and mistakenly posted a link to the team's YouTube page. The post was later deleted. Common, do you think this means LeBron will be taking his talents to South Beach?
No, I don't think necessarily. I guess if he ends up going to Miami, that's what everybody will probably figure. And maybe he has told him. Maybe it is a done deal. They just he's milking it, is waiting to announce it, and they did put it together. I just don't know how it would get leaked. How would that?
Because they made the mistake of posting on their YouTube page.
But how could you make that mistake of posting it on your YouTube? You understand social media technology better than I do.
Well, I don't think it was. Well, I think that my guess is this is happening.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, you think he is going to be signing with Miami?
Because
okay,
there are times, right? Like newspapers have it right now. If there's someone who's 90 years old and might be dying soon, they might have written up a story, an obituary ahead of time, right?
Oh, that's common. It's done for everybody. Yeah. They got him for Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, anybody that's past 75, 80 years old. They have them already.
Or like, here at the station, right? If LeBron were to sign here, I bet we already have, a marketing department or promotions department we are going to sell these LeBron-related T-shirts if he signs here, right? Like, so there is planning ahead. But to me, what blows the cover on this is you put the date down of the press conference, right? It wasn't like, hey, we're going to put a poster together to put on social media if he happens to sign here, so then we're ready to go the second it happens. When you have an actual date for a press conference, to me, that's because you had received information that you are going to have a press conference at that time.
Why would they? How do you accidentally post it, though? You may be right. They may.
Well, so every Friday we do Program Password, and you can watch it on KFAN YouTube channel. The link to watch that Program Password on Friday is sometimes already up on Wednesday, right? It might be, whatever the team, if it's Common and Co versus Marnie and Lil B, and we know that's going to be on Wednesday, the link on YouTube is already set up. You can hit the notify me button, so it'll let you know when that Program Password starts, so you don't miss it. So putting like a live press conference scheduled ahead of time is not out of the ordinary if you know a press conference is going to happen at that time.
A little more serious than unveiling Program Password, but...
Well, a little bit.
Okay. It's crazy.
I definitely think Miami is the favorite at this moment. I'd be surprised if he didn't pick Miami, because I just think it'd be a very weird mistake to make. I think they're trying to cover it now as a mistake, now that it got out.
What if now he's mad and he changes his mind and he goes to
that could happen.
He says, the heck with it.
I'm now at the point where I think this is all sports betting Kelce related. Like, that's the one way out of this.
Yeah.
Like, someone in the Miami Heat could go, I'm going to bet LeBron James to Miami on Kelce. I'll post this leak. Then a bunch of money is going to pour in, and then I can sell it at a higher price, even though he's not ever coming here. And I just made cash off of it. That could happen.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty unlikely, but...
It's basically called insider trading.
Yes, there's lots of that going on.
There probably is. Yeah, maybe there's insider trading there. Yeah, and if he goes there, great. It doesn't really matter to me anyway. It would be fun to have him here, right? But, you win some, you lose some. So, yeah, maybe it was. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they know it's coming the 20th. I mean, obviously, if on the 27th of July they have a news conference from Miami saying he's with them, then they knew all.
Well, now they're going to try to change the date to make it seem like, it was just an innocent mistake.
Yeah, maybe the 30th,
try to cover for
29th or the 20th. Yeah, they could do that too.
Question number 2.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
It's now time to delve deep into Twins territory.
Crack out a home run, shout a hip hooray! Cheer for the Minnesota Twins today.
Twins extended their losing streak to 4 games with a 5-2 loss last night in Cleveland. They're now 5 games back in the AL Central, 3.5 out of a wild card spot. Twins offense totaled just 1 run and 5 hits over the final 8 innings, and they've scored 3 or fewer runs in 6 of their past 11 games. Common, your thoughts?
The Emperor has no clothes. Can you look that up and see where that came from? The Emperor has no clothes. While you do that, I'll do my best Fred Astaire. Ginger Rogers. Yeah, it's disappointing. I was hoping they would continue to win to see if... Got to put Tom Pohlad to the test. Tom, remember, said, we're going to win. We got to patch things up with the fan base, and the best way to patch things up with the fan base is to say, we're all in. We like what we're doing. I know we don't have the best team in baseball right now, but our offense is really good. We got some good, decent starting pitching. I know it's a little thin now. Let's go. Let's be buyers at the trade deadline. I don't know if that's going to happen now. What does the Emperor have no clothes?
Is it the Emperor's new clothes?
No, an Emperor.
There's a Wikipedia for the Emperor's. It's showing Emperor's new clothes.
Oh, then I don't even know what I was talking about then. I thought it was the Emperor has no clothes. What does it say about new clothes?
Let me get back to it. So the Emperor's New Clothes is a literary fairy tale written by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen about a vain emperor who gets exposed before his subjects. The tale has been translated into over 100 languages.
The Emperor has new clothes. Well,
the tale has been adapted to various media, and the story's title, the phrase "the Emperor has no clothes," and variations thereof have been adopted for use in numerous other works and as idioms.
So being exposed, and that's what it looks like. The Twins have been exposed for the team they probably really were. They had a nice stretch. Their hitting was time to remember. The key number, the key statistic, if you're a stats guy, the sabermetric or the analytic, whatever you call it, was they had the best batting average with runners in scoring position. They were driving in runs. When runners were in scoring position, we were scoring runs, and that was carrying the club. And some nice pitching performances by Joe Ryan. And then the Taj Bradley guy had, I think he didn't have like a half a dozen really good starts. I know he got roughed up the last time out too. And, was it Zeb Matthews? Is that the guy we've been getting some good? So we had some starting. We've had, bullpen's been a mess. But if we don't hit, we can't win. So now I really wanted to see, I would love to have, we've lost 4 out of 5 coming out of the break. I wished we'd won 4 out of 5 just to put Pohlad to the test, to see if Tom could back up the talk about, we want to mend fences. We got to patch things up. We're here to contend. I can't believe that he was beside himself almost, that he was befuddled that Vegas said their over-under was like 77 games or whatever it was. So, but now, it'd be convenient to say, well, looks like we're not as far along as we need to be, and we need to get some reinforcements and young talent in here. The Fish Wrap Factory West Side did a piece, maybe we'll look at that a little bit later, maybe today or tomorrow, about the possible trade candidates, if the Twins indeed are sellers. Jeffers would be one. Joe Ryan would be another. And yeah, those two would probably
Buxton, if he's willing to
if he's willing to go, but he has said he hasn't. But yeah, he would be another one. But yeah, those are probably the two main players. Because Jeffers is he's a good defensive catcher, from what I'm told. I think he also calls a good game, and offensively, getting offense out of a catcher that's what teams really want to get. I mean, number one is if he hits 202, but he's a great defensive catcher and calls a great game, you accept that if you have enough offense in other places. But if you have a catcher that can hit the ball as well, that's why the guys like Johnny Bench were so valuable. Yogi Berra. Think of all the great catchers, Mickey Cochran, all these guys. These guys could hit the baseball, and if you can hit the ball, you're so much more valuable.
Question number 3. It's time now for a look at the leaks.
Yeah, two-time MVP runner-up Nafisa Collier was designated as probable on the team's injury report for the first time this season, and she will play a little less than an hour from now, about 50 minutes from now, against Seattle. Collier had surgery on both ankles this offseason. Common, if Fee can go today, which she will now, what are your expectations for the Lynx?
Do you think maybe, you hear this often, a lot of times with teams, even if something's going really well and you throw somebody else in, even if they're good, well, if it throws them off, because she's going to need her touches, right?
Yeah.
And then
there's only so many balls to go around.
That's exactly right. So does this put a fly in the ointment, so to speak? Look that one up, Teneby. I already know that one. I would think it just makes the team better. I don't know how it can go any other way. And they've already.
She was the second best player in basketball last year, so it's
and
they usually can assimilate themselves into a team.
And they're as good as any team in the league right now, right?
They're have the best record.
Yeah, so let's go. Fee,
Olivia, McBride. Let's go.
I love it.
Question number 3. It's time now to consider the course.
3M Open begins tomorrow at TPC Twin Cities in Blaine. Scotty Scheffler, your overwhelming favorite to win the tournament, plus 260. Defending champion Kurt Kitayama is next at plus 2250. Maverick McNeely is plus 2350. Then you got Hideki Matsuyama at plus 2800. Tom Kim at plus 2900. Common, who will win the 3M Open?
Put all your money on Jason Day. Bad back, you say? I don't know if I'm buying it, Tenemy. I think that's, on second thought, and maybe he does have a bad back. I don't know. As a matter of fact, shouldn't make that accusation because maybe the last few weeks he's complained about a bad back. Maybe he really does have a bad back, but Spieth bails. Even though when you make, like you said, we were talking about it off here, when you make a commitment, you should stick with it. But if any guy would want to bail, it'd be Spieth for where he was and where his game is now. He probably just hates golf. He probably hates golf more than anything because it's just not there anymore. But yeah, so a couple of the bigger names, Spieth and Day, commit. Now they're both out. Again, I don't know how you can bet against Scheffler. For me, I guess it just depends how interested Scheffler is.
Sure.
Because
even at 75% interest, he might still be good enough to beat this field.
It mentioned in the Fish Wrap Factory story today about this is the 5th time Minnesota since '86, I think it was, has had the number 1 ranked player in the world in Minnesota playing, and they've never won. And it mentioned that Koepka was the last world number 1 to be here. And it said, basically, I can't remember how whoever wrote, I don't remember who wrote the story, but basically what they said was, maybe it was Mark Craig, I don't know who, but it was almost as if somebody said, as if Koepka just wasn't even interested, because he finished like 65th. If you're the number 1 ranked player in the world and you finish 65th, that's just not very likely. So it's almost like he was just checked out for the very beginning of the tournament. Would Scheffler be checked out? I don't know. I don't think so. So, yeah, I guess it's hard not to call him the favorite.
I will say, why is Tom Kim not the second betting favorite here? Why is he? I know Kitayama won it last year.
I don't know.
Tom Kim, I know he missed the cut at the Open, but he won the Scottish Open the week before.
I would agree with you.
I think he took third at a previous major. Was it the U.S. Open? I
would agree.
He's more highly regarded than all the other golfers. I don't get why he's fourth or fifth favorite here.
I would agree with you. That's a very good point. I don't know why he's not. But the tournament starts tomorrow. Scotty at 7:39. I think I saw 7:37.
I know it's in the 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah, and he's going off 10. We'll pause. We'll come back. 534 is brought to you by our friends at Willow River Company. Willow River Company, everything. They are your outdoor living experts. I love what they do for me, and I know you will as well. They do my lawn care. I do the mowing, but they lay down the weed and feed or whatever. They take care of that. My garden beds are picture perfect. They did landscaping for me. They do irrigation, installation, startup. In the spring, they'll shut it down in the fall for you. They even do snow plowing, too. Whatever your outdoor living needs are, they're your outdoor living experts. Willow River Company. Go to willowrivercompany.com. That's willowrivercompany.com.
The Fan and BigDeck.com. Want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword new at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. Keyword is new. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Coming up next,
KFAN welcomes some great shows at Treasure Island this year, including Gabriel Iglesias on July 31st, Joe Bonamassa on August 15th, Snoop Dogg on September 5th, and Ron White October 17th. Get the complete details on all of our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Debbie, how many listeners out there are going, come on, Common, we can't wait for you to do the fake song with the artist thing?
I'm going to be honest. I'm not maybe the average Rube, but
you like it.
I love it. It's brilliant because it's so good. One of the reasons I love it is I know that after every one of them, you could play the casting, fishing sound effect, because there's somebody out there going,
I've had it.
That's not who did that.
Yeah.
I love the people that don't get the bit and get a little worked up about it sometimes.
One listener texted and said, it's bad enough he sings out of key, but he doesn't sing the song with the artist that 10B played.
I always love that one. There are levels of understanding and knowledge about the Commonwealth. Having been a card-carrying member for, I don't know, hundreds of weeks. I come to appreciate the subtle nuance to the initiate, to those who have not spent a lot of time roaming the cul-de-sacs of the Commonwealth. This might seem like not much of a show, but there is actually a lot going on here.
Well said.
I just am saying that, it rewards repeated listening, although for some people can't take it. Some people don't have what it takes to be bona fide members of the Commonwealth.
We call it an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste, but also then you find out that there are many little variants, regional variants, and things that just reward repeated listening. The casting out and the fishing for people is one of my favorites.
Like the first time you had a shot of bar whiskey, you didn't really like it, and then after a while you love a shot.
Oh, I got to really love it for a while there.
I get that. I'm with you there. ROK TOK, Brian Oak, 10B and the Common Man here.
I have a podcast.
Well, that's where you do have a podcast.
I just want to mention it real quick. Yeah, 591 episodes deep now. Just did another one this morning.
When did you start the podcast?
Started the podcast 6.5 years ago. Wow. We do 2 a week, roughly. We've missed a few here and there. But we're at 591 episodes now. It's largely focused on local music, but we talk about some other things as well. But one of the great things about this particular podcast is we found a way to legally be able to play full songs on the podcast. I didn't want to do one if we weren't going to be able to feature music. So we have artists in, we play their music or artists they like. Everybody who comes on has to pick 3 songs. It's about 45 minutes, easily digestible. And if you find one you don't like, you're like, it's kind of dull. Luckily, there are literally hundreds of other episodes for you to draw from, all archived there at our new website, thebrianoakshow.com. 600
will be a milestone, but is it a celebratory? Because usually the milestones are 100, 500.
We did a big thing for 500. Yeah. We did a live one at Hi-Fi Records down there near Loring Park. But yeah, 600, it's a milestone for us personally, but we don't have anything special planned for it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
You are also the Grum Reaper.
I am, in fact.
Death when rock. And, the rock stars that were near and dear to my heart, or still are, were in that time of the life where a lot of them are going by the wayside. Is it one of my favorites? Who do we have?
Well, we got a couple, and neither of them are household names by any means, but they are going to be names that resonate, or at least in a small way, with everybody here. Jim Gilstrap, that name ring a bell for you?
Maybe if you...
He was a singer, and he frequently collaborated and sang along with Stevie Wonder. So he's very much in that rarefied air of well-known, appreciated, decades-long career. But the reason most people will know him is he's the male voice that you hear at the end of 9 to noon every day when they play the Good Times theme. Jim Gilstrap was the male voice in the Good Times theme song.
Really?
So we've all heard that voice a million times. But yeah, he passed away at the age of 79. And most people, I think, from working at the record store and living the life that I have, there are a lot of jazz fans out there, but not nearly as many as popular music or rock or country or whatever. But a iconic Hollywood session saxophonist, Plaz Johnson, jazz fans will know who he is, but the rest of us who have no idea and have probably never heard the name Plaz Johnson before, best known for the saxophone part in the legendary Pink Panther theme. The whole thing, and
Peter Sellers in the movie,
yeah, exactly. And Inspector Clouseau, his first appearance, it was great. But he died at the age of 94.
Who wrote the theme for the Pink Panther?
Henry Mancini.
Henry Mancini. That's what it was. Hank. I called him Hank.
Hank Mancini. A lot of jazz heads like to call him Hank Mancini.
Yeah, that's right.
And he didn't just do Pink Panther. That's probably his most famous.
Correct.
But he did hundreds of various soundtracks and movie soundtracks, TV soundtracks. I've got a bunch of them at home, and if you like that cinematic style of jazz and sort of, it's got that cinematic feel to it. He's arguably the greatest of all time.
Well, a song that I used to do, the Amana Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Forecast, where I talk up the ramp, Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island. Right? Well, he had that hit, and then other than that, he was one of those guys. He did the music for the soundtracks for movies and TV shows and stuff. That's
which is where actual money is. If you're not out there busy cranking out hit after hit, you got to find a way to get by in the industry. Like Danny Elfman went from being the lead singer of a B-list new wave band, Oingo Boingo, to becoming probably the most prolific.
Don't you call Oingo Boingo a B-list band?
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Not to me. That's my band, man.
Name one hit that they had to crack the top 20.
I know the name. I've heard the name of the band, but
they were an interesting and cool band at the time, but they weren't household names. They weren't a hit. But Danny Elfman has gone on to do the music in everything. Most famously, the Batman series. He was the music for when that got relaunched. But he's done I'm not going to do it again. But he's done a very, very many soundtracks and has made himself beyond independently wealthy, generationally wealthy by doing that end of the music business. So a lot of these guys who had a taste with it and realized maybe the pop lifestyle wasn't for them go on to doing soundtracks or production or collaborating and helping to songwrite with other artists.
Any more people that we need to note that passed away?
Really, Jim Gilstrap and Plaz Johnson are the two that popped up this week.
Well, let's do this. Let's take a break because you had a couple of other things you wanted to get to, including I boycott halftime shows.
I understand.
I do, but apparently there were a lot of big names. And
it was interesting because it's only the first time they've ever done it in World Cup history. So, I just had a couple of details I wanted to go over on that.
You got another?
Well, I want to tell you about Charge because you asked a poignant question earlier. Is he happy? And I went out and spent a few days with him in his new Utah home recently. And I wanted to just let you know about how he's doing, but also something terrifying that happened to me while I was there that ties into what you and Rosie were talking about yesterday. Again, regular listener of the program. And then also I have a little fun game if we have time, but if not, Rock Rank today is so juicy. I cannot wait to get into it.
Dead Man's Party.
Yeah.
That's Oingo Boingo.
That is. Well,
That's my favorite Oingo Boingo.
Now that you looked it up on the internet.
Somebody
okay. Yeah, exactly.
Oinga. And he just called it Oinga.
Of course he did.
Oingo Boinga. Kind of like the name. We'll break. We'll come back with more Rock Talk here on The Fan.
The Common Man.
He's a legit talent.
Yeah, he's very
just
talented.
in general. He's super funny.
From Mall of America have returned, and we're giving them away all summer long. Stop by KFAN events or find the KFAN street team out and about to get yours. Redeem at Mall of America for exciting prizes and great deals. See the full event schedule at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Comedies tend to be Brian Oak here. This is Rock Talk. A couple of quick text messages that came in. This one says, sure, Hank Mancini wrote some good tunes, but I think his best thing he created was a steakhouse on West 7th in St. Paul. Also, were you more of an Oinga guy or a Boinga guy? And I have to admit, I like Boinga.
I always love that. Do you?
Yeah, and I think you were an Oinga guy. That's where we.
No, I'm an Oingo Boingo guy.
Oh, you like them both?
I like the way it rhymes.
Oh.
I don't really like that casual, like when people would call the Red Hot Chili Peppers the Peppers. Hey man, we're going to see the Peppers at the festival this weekend.
I used to say the Peps.
The Peps. I mean, you shut it up. Because you're in a hurry. You got a lot of important things to say. You can't be busy with long names like Red Hot Chili
Just
Peppers.
Like I used to call them Salt and Pep. I didn't call them Salt and Pepper.
There was a station I worked at back in the late 90s, before it went away, 93.7, The Edge. Long gone, so I feel comfortable saying it. But there was one jock on there who loved to say things like, hey, coming up, a set with the Peppers and the Pumpkins next.
No,
I hated it so. Of course you. Well, you're an old school
radio. We got Zeppelin, guy. Stones, and the Beats coming up next.
Yeah, why do you do Stones in? You just say the Stones and Zeppelin. You got to say Led Zeppelin.
I don't know. For some reason, that didn't ring as hollow to me as someone going, coming up, the latest from the Pumpkins. So knock it off.
Deuce and I have watched a show for years together called The Regular Show.
Mm-hmm. I know what it is.
So there was one where they were doing a takeoff, kind of a spin on The Edge. Usually. So same thing. They had some rock star, and they said, "How did you come up with the name?" Because he was The Urge. And he said, I just decided to take two totally random, unrelated words, and I came up with The Urge. He's like, how do you come up with The Edge? Who is he now? Is he the guitar player?
He's the guitar player from U2. Can I tell you my Edge story real quick?
Do you have an Edge?
I do have an Edge story.
And then somebody else who's the other one-name guy that played for Sting? No, not Sting.
Well, Sting is a one-name guy.
No, but there's The Edge, and then there's, I know there's another.
Oh, there's got to be. I'm sure there are many more.
Flea.
Oh, Flea. He's in the Red Hot. He's in the Peppers.
He's in the Peps.
He plays bass. So takes it for a walk in the Peps.
He's just known as the Flea.
Just Flea. Just Flea, who actually has a jazz record out right now. He's kind of enjoying a weirdo side project or side quest arc in his story right now.
So what's your Edge story?
Oh, just real quick. I went to Coachella the one year that I actually went to Coachella and ran into some people that I didn't realize they suddenly were the ones who booked the thing for Golden Voice. Ran into them totally randomly, went there on my own and ran into them, and they gave me not the VIP bracelet, but even within the VIP, there's a VIP's VIP where, people can get away from, they don't want to be hassled, right? So I'm in the VIP's VIP. It's hot because we're in the high California desert, and I'm just sitting back there by myself. I sit down at a table, and a group of like 3 people comes up and sits down next to me, and they're at the table, and the guy sitting next to me is wearing a cowboy hat, and I look over, and he just looks at me and real quietly extends his hand. He's like, Edge.
No, come on.
I swear to God. And I said, oh, Brian, nice to meet you. And then I'm a professional. I can play it cool. Yeah. But I'm like, that's pretty, those are the only words we exchanged. But he just looked at me, extended his hand and said, Edge.
So what is his, do you know his real name by any chance?
I know, it's all over the internet. Yeah, everybody knows, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Like Bono is also in U2. His real name is Paul something.
Here's the other one. Someone just reminded. This one, I wasn't thinking of, I was thinking of Slash.
Slash. Exactly.
How do you come up with Slash?
Well, because you're in one of the biggest metal bands of all time, and you wear a great top hat, and you got the frizzy hair. You're Slash.
Yeah,
just how he's slashing on the guitar out there, man.
Yeah, that's who you are.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to give you a super quick Paul Charchian update. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Just because I heard you guys say, you asked Tenna earlier, is Charch happy out there? Because that's a big move, just picking up everything and going to Utah. All I can tell you is I went out there to spend some time with them, spent about 4 days in the high Utah mesas and gulches. It's like loading up the truck
and moving to Beverly. It's
exactly.
Just like Beverly.
Well, he lives, whether or not he regrets leaving here, I know he misses some friends and some of the familiarity of here, but he lives in one of the most otherworldly, most beautiful spots in country. Yeah, exactly. In that vicinity, about half an hour from there. But everywhere you look out from his house, you see mesas and desert. And over in this corner over here, when you look off his patio, you can see the highest white peaks of Zion National Park. And if you've never seen what Zion looks like, people should look it up right now. Just take a quick look online. It's stunning. You look like you're on another planet. So I know he's very happy out there. He's doing well. For those of you out there who are worried about Paul, then I had a great time with him and his wife hanging out at their house. But I did have one thing come up. You and Rosie yesterday, or maybe it must have been yesterday, we're talking about self-driving cars.
Yeah, Waymo.
Yeah, well, so they apparently, they're here in our town as well now. Paul we didn't take a Waymo. Paul, being a tech guy, he's always kind of on the cutting edge of everything. He has the
self-driving Tesla?
Yes. He has the absolute latest version of that, which I am horrified at the prospect of. Someone should be driving this car. From the time we left the parking lot, because we flew into Vegas, then drove up to where he lives, 2.5 hour drive. From the time we left the parking lot to the restaurant, then to a charging station on the way, then all the way up into southern Utah, nobody touched the steering wheel once. Yeah. And I will say this, it was terrifying. I'm not on board with the whole premise, but it was flawless. It never missed a turn signal. It never did some crazy maneuver. It knew how to maneuver tricky merges. It knew when was the right time to go. Whether
could have handled the 394 quick slipping.
Well, yeah, because it would get in the right lane much, much earlier like you're supposed to.
Then I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. No, it didn't do any of that nonsense stuff. And
but does it roll through stop signs? It won't, will it?
Nope.
Well, and you got to that's why I need to be behind the wheel. If it's a four-way stop and there's nobody around, I'm rolling, baby.
If you actually touch the wheel at any point during the journey, a little thing pops up on this lovely screen that's in the front there and says, why did you intervene? Because I got this.
Well, here's my other question. I was talking to somebody about this just today. Based on the conversation Rosie and I had, how well do you think it does in a blizzard? I
don't know.
I'm out, man. I'm sorry. And
I'm out in general. I'm never going to buy one.
Well, the other reason I don't, because I like driving. I always have.
Same.
I enjoy now. Rush hour traffic, stop and go. Gets in a blizzard. I don't really like driving, but I don't mind getting behind the wheel of the car. Trying to loosen my load with 7 women on my mind.
I couldn't agree more. I love driving, and I agreed. But if you're a commuter and you're always doing the start and stop and the go, and it would be a dream for a commuter that's got a heavy commute. It handled so perfectly with every light, every interaction in Vegas. So again, philosophically, I'm opposed, but I can't help but be impressed just how good the technology is right now.
The one thing I learned in San Francisco, you cannot have a manual transmission.
No.
I mean, you can, but you'll burn your clutch.
Exactly.
You do that, man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You were talking about, before we get to, you had one other thing you wanted to get to. You had mentioned there was one other Grum Reaper. Are you talking about Jennifer Finch?
No.
Bassist for the band L7?
Oh, yes, I completely spaced on that one as well. I had written myself a note earlier, and I did forget about that.
What is the band L7?
L7 rose to prominence back in the 90s, in the grunge era, and they were noteworthy for being all women, right? And even in the wake of things like Lilith Fair and a new awakening in music and some really incredible female artists of the era, it's still always been a boys' club. And L7, especially when it comes to the hard rock and roll, L7 were heavy duty. They were grunge, but they were more than that. They knew how to rock. They had attitude to spare. They weren't proper Riot Girl. They were more like a proper just rock band, like in the tradition of a Susie Quattro, but a little snarlier, a little gnarlier, but just in your face, female fronted and female band rock and roll. And they were great. And they're actually back on the road right now. And so this is wildly unfortunate and terrible timing. And a lot of people in town who have music careers that stretch back to the 90s have been sharing pictures and stories about their interactions with L7 and Jennifer in particular, just saying that she was absolutely the quintessential amazing rock star, and it's a terrible loss.
Can you, and may she rest in peace.
Yeah.
You wanted to briefly mention it because you said Rock Rank is terrific today.
Well, what do you think, Tenna? I feel like we could have done this entire segment on Rock Rank today, just because there's and you are going to love it in particular.
Well, let's go with Rock. Let's just go to Rock Rank.
Right now?
Yeah, because you were going to mention the halftime show.
I was going to mention the halftime show for the World Cup. Not really worth. I mean, it was a spectacle. There were people complaining about the fact that it didn't have any heft or real meaning, just lots of flash and. That's what a halftime show is, man. Not everybody everybody's Bob Dylan.
Terrible.
Not everybody's Rage Against the Machine. It was 11 minutes of pure spectacle that featured, Coldplay and BTS and Madonna and Shakira and, your guy, Burna Boy, made an appearance on there as well.
Does nothing for me. Those halftime shows are the worst things ever.
Apparently, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people watched it, but they're not sure they're going to go back to having one. They did it for America, is what they did, and they're not sure they're going to do it in 2030. So you don't really need it.
It's time now for Rock Rank.
Rock Rank.
Rock Rank.
Rock Rank. Rock Rank.
Rock Rank.
Rock Rank.
Yes.
Yeah, I was feeling kind of the summer vibe, and when I think of summer, I think in terms of music, I think of yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
I don't really know how to define yacht rock, but I guess we're going to find out with Brian Oak how he defines yacht rock. Because Brian, today, I want you to rank your top 5 yacht rock songs of all time.
That is a big can do. This is another one of those lists that was very difficult. And just off the top of my head,
can I throw something real quick about somebody was doing a story about yacht rock. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they called Donald Fagen and said, "We want to talk to you about being a rock."
Oh, yeah, that's a real story.
He hung up the phone.
No. So Yacht Rock, there's this online web series that popped, 10, 15 years ago, that was called The History of Yacht Rock. And it was sort of these comedic portrayals by these comedians of the artists of the era, like your Michael McDonald's, your Kenny Loggins, your Hall & Oates, and many, many others. And Steely Dan was in there too. And then that's when this term yacht rock really took off and sort of became a cultural thing for the last decade plus. And he, most famously, whereas Michael McDonald is like, yeah, cool, you listen to my music, call it whatever you want, I don't care. No, Donald Fagen, notoriously prickly about being referred to because he feels like it's demeaning. And really what yacht rock is just sort of smooth, mellow, generally warm sounds, even in a sad song, of the early 1970s, right? I mean, the artists that I just listed off, and it'll become evident on here once I start counting these down, what yacht rock is. This was when I was a little kid, so music, I hadn't really kind of fallen in love with it yet, but it was everywhere, and it's so imprinted on my brain that most of these songs I can sing from start to finish, and I was able to come up with more than 30 songs just off the top of my head, so I probably missed some really crucial ones, but I got 5 of them for you here.
Sure. Number 5.
Number 5 is, it's hard to pick between the two songs. They're both on his City to City album, and they're both so good and such absolute masterpieces of yacht rock that I couldn't really decide between them, but that would be Jerry Rafferty with Baker Street and the song that more people consider a more definitive yacht rock song, Right Down the Line, which is just, it's smooth, it's well produced, it's groovy, it's just got the right kind of attitude, and that's what yacht rock is. A mellow, warm summer evening is what yacht rock should sound like.
Winding your way down on Baker Street, light in your head and you're dead on your feet. Another crazy day. I'll drink the night away and forget about everything. Now,
exactly.
Here's what I read once about it. Someone claimed, and I don't know if it's true, that the first song ever that had an instrumental as the hook was Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty, because usually the hook is generally a lyric, right?
Right, usually.
But this is the saxophone solo.
Yeah, one of the most iconic of all time.
And so, and I thought to myself, and I don't know if that's fact, if that's actually the very first one ever, but it's certainly one that stands out. And I wonder how many songs where there was the instrumental, a particularly instrument in the riff is the hook.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. That would take some real research to kind of get to the bottom of that.
Baker Street's one of the greatest.
But it's one of the most iconic and definitive of all time.
And we've done this bit before.
Yeah.
About people sampling.
Really, on this show?
Yes. Yeah. Sampling.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Marcus did a song called Half a Heart. And I read the story and I listened to it. And his song Half a Heart is more like a jazz song. And it's after the intro it goes dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's obviously
right.
Jerry Rafferty got, whether he did it on purpose or one of those things where, you hear something.
Sometimes people will quote something, especially in jazz. They will quote a riff from somebody else, and it's more of like an honorific, right? Like you're actually paying tribute to them, an homage, if you will.
Or maybe not even that, where you heard it, it's stuck in your head. 5 years later, you're going, oh, I just thought of something you didn't even know you got. They played it for Steve Marcus. They said, have you ever heard of Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street? Guy goes, no, I don't know anything about it. They played, he goes, Yeah, it's my song.
Yeah. Well, lawyers would probably see it differently.
So those two, there you go. Very much.
Number 4.
Number 4 is, it just speaks to the easygoing, not quite free love of the 60s, but more of the casual hookup scene of the 70s.
Oh, okay.
There would be
People
England.
did that?
Yeah, baby. I think they still do. England Dan and John Ford Coley's Really Love to See You Tonight. I'm not talking. What did you just say?
Who? If I hear that.
I'm not talking about moving in.
I know.
And I don't want to change your life, but there's a warm wind blowing the stars around.
I know, and I'd
really love to see you tonight. Yeah, baby. But it is. Thank you. It is. It's a yacht rock song. There's no question about it, and it's so cool. What do you mean
So England Dan is Dan Seals.
Yeah.
I'm working in Kemmer, Wyoming. Dan Seals coming to town to Evanston. I go into the production room when you'd have to splice things, and I go, Dan Seals in Evanston, Diamond Girl, do.
Not the right guy.
And I wasn't doing a bit like I do now. I thought it was him. He's coming to Evanston. Tickets, $10, one show only. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. I put it together. It took 2 hours. I was so happy.
And it was beautiful.
Nobody ever called though.
Really?
And then I find out, no, it's not the Seals from
it's England
Seals
Dan.
and Crofts.
Right.
It's England Dan, his brother, and he's doing cowboy music now. He started, he did a song called She Bop or Bebop or something. I wanna bop with you. He became a country guy.
Yeah.
So that's my.
Well, that story will never get old. That's a brilliant story for anybody who cares about music. But yeah, number 4, England Dan and John Ford Coley. My personal, I love it so much. Really love to see you tonight.
Okay.
Number 3.
Number 3 is one that some people debate whether or not it deserves to be on this list, but to me it sounds very much of its ilk, right? It reminds me of the other songs that get covered in this, which, by the way, with a couple of exceptions here and there, is just white dudes, right? Long-haired white dudes is pretty much who did most of the yacht rock. But America's Sister Golden Hair. This one, it ramps up a little more, borderline on a rock song, but it's still got that same smooth production, the sweet harmonies, and America, very much of that ilk. So that comes in at number 3 for me.
Almost all their songs would be Ventura Highway, Tin Man.
Exactly. Those all would fall under the heading.
Back in the day, easy listening had a different definition. That would be pop rock music, and I love the band America.
Yeah, they're get America's best. If you, normally I don't advocate the best of or the greatest hits albums, but if you're someone who's like, is it really any good? Buy their greatest hits, and you're going to realize that you already know every song on that album.
That's correct.
Number 2,
an Australian band that probably could have multiple entries on this particular list as well, but there's one in particular that stands out, and it's so yacht rock, it's almost unbelievable.
I come from a land down under.
Nope, not that one. That's a little later.
Okay.
We're going to go back a little further into the 70s.
I can't get to sleep.
Great song, though, but that's not it. No.
Can I have one more guess?
Yeah.
It's a mistake. No, that's not it either.
Yeah, well,
but that's yacht rock.
It is. Those are all men at work. Yacht rock, number 2 for me, is Australia's Little River Band with Reminiscing. I mean, I could sing it.
No, I could sing it too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
I was walking you home and I got down to the gate and I was dreaming of the night. Would it turn out right? I would tell you, girl, I would want to rip my world around you.
We really got to figure out a way to play music on this segment.
We can. We just don't.
Wouldn't share it later. I understand.
Podcast it later,
yeah.
I understood. But no, Little River Band, I mean, if we're talking about a beautiful, warm, balmy summer evening and a little yacht rock on the hi-fi.
It's a very well done song. It's brilliant.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I do like it.
Yeah.
Number 1.
This one's pretty easy. It was easy to pick the artist. It was hard to pick the song because he has 2 songs that if you look on various lists online, alternate back and forth between number 1. Either of these songs could easily fall in the number 1.
Boss Skaggs.
Not Boss Skaggs, but he's all over most of the lists that you will look at online.
You're not going to go with your favorite David Bowie somehow.
Absolutely
not. He's not a yacht rock.
No. This is
you like
yacht
your
rock.
David guy so much.
No, when you ask about songwriters, David Bowie belongs on that list.
I know he does, but I just thought you'd find a way to squeeze
No, he was never
Bowie.
yacht rock. He was never yacht rock. But this guy is pretty much the definitive poster boy of yacht rock. In fact, one of his biggest songs, and the song I didn't go with, is called Sailing. Christopher Cross and Ride Like the Wind. Ride Like the Wind is so very good.
Yeah,
it's a great start to the song.
Yeah.
Really, and the whole thing just And I think, isn't that Michael McDonald in there who shows up on about half of the songs that show up on here? I've got so many also-rans that also belong in there. Baby Come Back by Player. Do you remember that? Baby Come Back. Oh.
Any kind of fool could see that I was wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Again, yeah.
Do you think Abbott loves it when we start singing these classic hits of the 70s?
All right.
Al Stewart's got a couple of them. Your song, Year of the Cat.
In Time Passages.
Time Passages, also a big one. Steely Dan have about 15 that fit on here, but the two that show up the most are Peg and Dirty Work. Those both belong on this list.
And Dirty Work is not by Donald Fagen, is not singing. That was by his name, last time I think it was Palmer. It was a different singer that was in the band just on that first album and was gone.
Didn't know that.
No, that was, that's it. He was one song and that was it.
Elvin Bishop, Fool Around and Fell in Love, comes up a lot. Paul Davis,
baby.
I Go Crazy. I got Seals and Croft here. Toto, not Africa, but Rosanna. Very much in the heart of that.
Paul Davis's best song, though, is Sweet Life. It's as cheesy as anything you'll ever see. He's no longer with us. He died at a very young age.
Jackson Browne shows up a bunch on these lists. Doctor My Eyes and Somebody's Baby.
Empty.
Yeah, exactly. Dave Mason, We Just Disagree. Yeah. Classic yacht rock right there.
Which he did not write. That was a song that was given to him by one of his bandmates.
Oh, right on. Rupert Holmes, the Pina Colada song called Escape. That's a big one.
He also did another song called Him. Do you remember that song?
I don't.
Where he goes home. It's another one of the story songs, and he sees a cigarette out in the ashtray. He goes, "Not my brand, you understand."
Oh, dear.
So that's what he was, like a detective, too.
I understand.
Who's smoking? Who was over here visiting you?
You know, there's just one thing that's bothering me.
Yeah, very Columbo.
Ambrosia, Biggest Part of Me. Another one that I can't believe you haven't already made reference to that shows up on a lot of these lists. Sanford and Townsend, Smoke from a Distant Fire.
That's PA.
Yeah, well, is it? Is that his song?
That's the greatest song. He thinks it's one of the greatest songs of all.
Well, speaking of PA, where's all the Hall & Oates?
Well, what I've got here from Hall & Oates is Sarah Smile, Rich Girl, and again,
She's Gone is their best song.
That's all. That's hard to say because they've got 50 great songs.
They do have great songs, yes.
If you go
Hall &
back,
Oates only has one good song.
Who does?
Hall & Oates has one good song.
What's that?
That would be She's Gone.
Oh, well, I mean, you don't think Rich Girl or Sarah Smile
Okay.
did it in a minute?
No. Kisses on My List.
Oh,
Private Eyes.
Too formulaic.
Adult Education.
You know, it's just like
Man-Eater.
They're all terrible.
Oh, wow.
She's a man-eater. Okay.
Also, the Eagles show up on this list a lot for the songs like I Can't Tell You Why. Do you hate the Eagles, too?
I don't hate them, but they're just a little too.
How do we feel about
a rougher edge?
How do we feel about Atlanta Rhythm Section So Into You? That one's a little sexier.
I like
a little groovier.
My favorite is
a little more intention.
My favorite Atlanta Rhythm Section is I'm Not Gonna Let It Bother Me Tonight.
That's also a great one. Not a yacht rock song, but a good one.
Brandy, You're a Fine Girl.
That's my number one alternate at the top of the list that I was saving right there. But yeah, Looking Glass doing Brandy. I mean, that's as smooth and 70s as it gets.
Yeah, you can get. There's plenty of them.
I'm guessing you don't strike me as a massive yacht rock fan.
No, there's a lot of it I like. Just there's certain bands like and Hall & Oates is they're toe tappers and they're okay. I just think they're a little over. I just don't like Kiss them. They're too poppy with verse, hook. Yes,
I understand.
We talked about this before.
We don't get to pick what we love, right? If it flips the switch in your head, it works.
We talked about Loggins and Messina last week. I interviewed Jim Messina not long from now. He's going to the Dakota. Loggins and Messina were the biggest selling duo of the 70s, from 70 to 75. They were surpassed by Hall & Oates 75 to 80.
Right.
If my choice is, Loggins and Messina, songwriting, lyrics, the whole thing, melodies, so vastly superior to Hall & Oates. But Hall & Oates they're very, and you know what? Being commercially successful. People always say they're too commercial. That's what you're trying to do. Is you're trying to create a product that is enjoyed by more people than not. So that's what I'll give them credit for. They created a sound that is, and they hate each other.
They made Speedboat money, though. Yeah. They absolutely made Speedboat money.
You know they hate each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, very, very bitter. In fact, it keeps resurfacing, and just last year, I think it finally came to its final and bitterest head.
Yes, that's for sure. Good to see you, and swag available as well.
That's true. If you go to the website, BrianOakShow.com, there's all kinds of cool swag that's branded with the logo of the show and my beautiful mug. Lots of little clever catchphrases as well. It's also where you can find a link to the latest episode 591, which just published today. And the best way to get the Brian Oak Show podcast would be to go through your free iHeartRadio app.
Boss Skaggs' Ms. Son. that should be on it.
But Boz Scaggs has, again, about 8 songs that belong on this list.
We'll see you next Wednesday.
Sounds good.
Mark Rosen joins us next in studio.
What?
Mark Rosen. That's next on The Fan.